Yo, what's up, everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and as you can see from today, we're not having too hot of a day for the portfolio. In total, just before the after hours, which will start at 4 p.m., as you can see, we're down 0.47%, which is about $363. We were actually way worse off at about 10:50 a.m. We were down 2.33%, which is about $1,794. So that's pretty crazy. I'm kind of glad that we recovered from that point, but I do wish that I was at least awake at 10:50 a.m. to maybe purchase some Microsoft stock or Tesla stock. I know especially for Tesla at that time period, it was pretty low, about 785. So I did miss out on a buying opportunity with that right there. But in general, the majority of my portfolio is with Microsoft right now. About 43% of that is. So as you can see, we are losing a good amount of money, considering that a lot of my investment money is in this stock alone. So we have near 50% of my money put into this stock. So whatever Microsoft does, my portfolio is going to take a big influence from that. I mean, as you can see right here, we're down just 0.68%. And that is down about $230. So it's a pretty good amount if you go down, especially at this point. Like if you go down 2.71%, that's about $1,000 in losses in total for Microsoft. But just back onto the portfolio, I will say the stock market is being a little bit strange lately. You have the NASDAQ and a lot of the tech stocks which aren't performing very well. But then you have stocks like, for example, I don't know for sure if this one is positive today, JP Morgan and Chase. Yeah, see, like the bank stocks way up here. If you go to commercial banking, I'm assuming it's the same trend line. Yeah, so once again today, these bank stocks are doing extremely well. I wonder about Wells Fargo. I don't think it has a good 5-year chart though. Yeah, the 5-year chart's pretty bad. But I have to admit, on a lot of these bank stocks right now, I'm tempted to jump in. And I know it's a little bit risky, but I am tempted to jump in when I see my tech stocks not moving. But I do see these bank stocks moving. So, I mean, I wonder what U.S. Bank looks like. U.S. Bank is decent. Still not 10% every year, though. I think JP Morgan and Chase is a solid one, though, in terms of the 5-year chart. Yeah, 5-year chart for this is really good. So, honestly, JP Morgan and Chase is looking a little bit attractive at this point just because of the easy gains that you can potentially get. Like, for example, it went up 4% today. So I have to admit I am a little bit tempted to buy some of these bank stocks, especially when it does have a pretty solid recovery gap right here. Like we have going from 99.77 to about 137.46. So that is a pretty decent money gap between here that you can gain some of the profits if you do invest at a low point and if it does go up and return to that point that it was previously at. Also, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the video, but if you do enjoy like portfolio updates, me sharing the moves that I'm making in the market, such as stock purchases and other things like that, please make sure to like the video, smash that like button. It really does help me out. And doing that also helps push out my videos to new audience members with the YouTube algorithm. So I definitely appreciate the love on that. And by the way, as always, anything that I say in this video is not to be considered financial advice. It is simply me just sharing my thoughts and opinions about the market. But on to the main topic, I recently made another stock market purchase. I did purchase about $3,300 in one stock. And I'll go ahead and give you a few seconds to guess that. Obviously, I know that for the people familiar with my channel, you're either thinking it's Microsoft and Tesla. Well, as you can see, we have a few more Tesla shares here. So I did spend about $3,300 on Tesla stock. And I understand that this stock is at currently a pretty high price. I understand that. But considering that this is like the second red day in a row, and considering the recent pattern of how usually when there's a red day, at least if you look at the past month or so, usually when there's a negative day, it bounces back up even higher than what it was at initially. This is a lot easier to see for the past 3 months chart, but as you can see, red day bounces up, red day bounces up, red day bounces up, red day bounces up. Same thing, so on and so on up through here. So it seems like when there is a red day for Tesla, when there is a negative day for the share value, then at least from the past 3 months chart, there is a consistency in seeing like an opportunity for a purchase, considering that the price increases in the future. And plus, I am a long-term bull on Tesla as well. But jumping right into my average cost, equity, and all of that good stuff, as you can see, I own 23 shares. It takes up about 24.4% of my portfolio. Average cost is $814.34. My equity is $18,722. And in total, as you can see, we are down today, lost about $114. And for the total return, we are basically breaking even right here, right now, about negative 0.01% or minus $2. So not too bad at all. And I'm honestly looking for the long term for Tesla stock. That's what I'm looking at. I'm talking about within the next 40 years or so. I do think that this stock will increase in price. And obviously, it will probably be a hard stock to hold for a lot of these people out here that either want to short the stock or simply just don't believe in it long term. So that does contribute to the volatility when a lot of people are just simply buying it because of the hype and not really having faith in the business model. But I will have to say, as we do have these sell-offs like we've seen on the chart in the past, like was February 20th and the peak on February 19th, as we do have more sell-offs and more sell-offs, I feel like these stock shares are transitioning from the weaker investors to the more long-term view investors. So it seems that they're transitioning hands to the people that will be more likely to hold it even if it drops in the meantime. So I feel like in the future, obviously we got this sell-off out of the way, we got the short sellers out of the way, and some people are saying that there could be another bubble in the future with the stock price right now especially. But in my opinion, like I said, I do think we transitioned away from some of those people that are really not looking at the long term for this stock. And now the people that own the shares are probably thinking about the next 10 to 40 years or so. So I do think that in the future, I'm at least hoping that there's not as much volatility in terms of going from like $900 to $500. But I do expect a lot of volatility with this stock just because that's how it is. That's how it is with a controversial stock, especially with all of the people out there that doubt Tesla and doubt Elon Musk. It's always going to have some volatility because there's going to be people shorting it based off of the hype and stuff like that. But I do think overall, especially with just the manufacturing, the technology, the fact that Tesla really likes to gather teams of their own expertise, such as software, battery production, battery research, training neural nets, the full self-driving features, stuff like that. It's especially valuable when you have a large focus on each individual team of a product to help perfect it because everyone has their own expertise in their own field. So that's a huge thing that I like about Tesla. Like I said, they really like to gather some of the smartest people in their areas and then they put them all together to work together as a team. So that is hugely beneficial for this company. I think that's the best way to do it. Instead of having people that really are like out of their expertise, they're not in a zone that they really can't shine. Tesla likes to put people in their focus and put them in the position that they know that they're good at. So I do think that this company is a large optimization machine when it comes to manufacturing, when it comes to research, when it comes to planning the business model, when it comes to hiring people and organizing them in their own parts of the company. So there's a vast amount of benefits with this that I've also mentioned in other videos as well when it comes down to the full self-driving, potential revenue from the batteries and the energy sources. And then of course we have the various models and vehicles coming up in the future on the production line, such as the Cybertruck, the Semi. So I do see a lot of opportunity with Tesla and Tesla stock in terms of growth, but also on a side note as well. I don't think I mentioned this in the beginning of this video, but I have to admit, with VOO stock, it is pretty unfortunate that I sold about $32,000 of this stock at a loss of about $2,300. I sold that just 3 days ago. I believe I sold it on Friday, and it was at $270 per share. And then now, of course, it's at like $277 per share right now. It's like absolutely my luck. I truly can't believe how much money I missed out on simply because I sold 2 days earlier than today. My thing about selling VOO was because I thought, okay, it's going to take pretty long for this stock to recover. So I just cashed out on that stock and then purchased Tesla stock and Microsoft stock as well, hoping that if VOO went up, Tesla and Microsoft would go up as well, but just much more. As you can see with Microsoft, it's already past the previous peak. So I have to admit, it is pretty disappointing that with VOO, I ended up just selling a little bit too early. Of course, hindsight is always 20/20. You can never really predict what is going to happen in the future. So I could have sold on Friday, and this stock could have also dropped like 10% by today. So you never really know, and it's always a risk. So that's just a reminder to never really like get too frustrated with yourself if you sell too early or sell too late, because you can never really predict the market. But that's just a side note. And then also to just jump right back onto Tesla really quick, a news piece recently came out 4 hours ago, and it says Tesla cuts prices by as much as 6% in North America to boost demand. And also on top of this, I noticed on Reddit as well, I believe that they have canceled free supercharging for the Model S and it's either the Model X or Model Y, maybe the Model Y. So supercharging has been canceled for those two as well. And with the price cut, I believe that they did this just because of the Rona situation. And I'm actually surprised that they needed to boost demand in North America, because I was honestly expecting for them to not have to boost demand, because Tesla overall pretty much has to keep up with demand. They have to keep on producing even more and more, and that's why they keep on making various models of vehicles so they can mass produce various models such as the Cybertruck, the Model Y. Basically, the main reason they started with the Roadster was because they could produce a small volume vehicle and gain a lot of money just because it was such a high value price, so they can then therefore produce a larger amount of vehicles for the next model that they had coming up, which I think was the Model S. And also, just to mention, as we are watching this, I am kind of happy that I bought today, because we were at a low point of minus 4.08% for Tesla today. And like I said, with the volatility that I mentioned earlier, we are currently positive. So I've gained about $133, $141 within the 10 minutes that I've been talking right here. So I have to admit that is kind of cool. I do like Tesla when it does go on a bullish run. And like I said, I think this is a great stock overall, but I just wanted to share a quick portfolio update for you all today and to just mention the moves that I was making in the stock market. So I do hope you enjoy these types of videos. If you do, please make sure to smash that like button like I mentioned earlier. And also, by the way, if you would like to begin investing, feel free to use my referral links for Robinhood and Webull down in the description below. If you sign up with my links, then we'll both get some free stocks, which is pretty awesome. Here's just one example of a free stock you may get, MRO, which is Marathon Oil. And overall, this is about, on average, a $12 to $11 stock, so I'm waiting on this one to rebound. So that is pretty nice. If you would like to sign up to Robinhood or Webull, definitely check out my referral code. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Stay safe out there.